So you're thinking about moving to Laval, which is the city just north of Montreal, Quebec. Well, in this video, you'll learn about the 5 reasons why people are leaving Laval. But it's not all negative, but it's really pertinent if you're planning on making a move to Laval. If this is your first time on my channel and you love real estate and you like having some guided tour of houses and condos for sale in Laval and all the surrounding suburbs, I'm pretty sure you'll like my channel. I encourage you to subscribe and maybe just hit that bell notification so you get informed as soon as I bring a new video about the current real estate Laval market. My name is Gabriel Laflamme. I've been a realtor since 2009, and every single day I get calls, emails, texts from people just like you that are contacting me and my team to let us know that they have a plan to buy or sell a house in a week, a month, and a year from now. If this is your situation, just feel free to contact us and we'll make sure we'll guide you from A to Z so that your transition is as smooth as possible. Before we go straight to the 5 reasons why people are leaving Laval, let's just look at some information, some key facts and stats about the city of Laval. I've been living in Laval since I was born. It's a great city to live. And in the last couple of decades, Laval has been known for its economic growth and demographic growth. A lot of people are coming from all parts of the world and buying homes in Laval. There's some industries and corporations that are establishing their headquarters in Laval, which is a great sign that the Laval is booming. So it's not surprising to see that the price of home have steadily increased throughout the years. To give you an idea, if you were to buy a house in February 2022, the average price for a single family home, detached single family home, is $601K, $601,000 to be precise, for a house. And if you just look 1 year ago, February 2021, it was $520K, which is a steep increase. And that's not just for houses, it's also for condos and duplex. If I'm looking at the prices for condos, I'm just gonna look at my notes to be precise. It's currently sitting at $433K for a condo, in February 2022. And a year ago, it was at $348K for the exact same condo. So that gives you a really clear picture of how the prices have gone up. You know, COVID really pushed the prices to the roof, but this trend is gonna keep growing steadily because there's so many people buying homes. There's so many companies establishing their head office, like I said, in Laval. And in Laval, we have some industrial zones that are really strong. For instance, we have this area in the center part of Laval where it's all the biotechs and pharmaceutical companies and scientists that work in this area, which is called the biotech city, biotechnology city. And there's 5,000 or 6,000 people that work in this precise neighborhood. So you have scientists from Montreal, from the rest of Canada, from all around the world that are working in Laval in those science companies. So it's really interesting if you're into science. But generally speaking, Laval is a great city. It's a safe city where you can have fun, you can go to restaurants, you have a bunch of great schools, public and private, in French and English. You have this proximity with Montreal. So if you have to drive to work to Montreal, you have to go to school in Montreal, you're really close. So we have a really strategic positioning in terms of where we're located, close to Montreal, close to the airport, close to the Laurentian if you want to go ski. So because of its location, it's a great place to live. Now, the 5 top reasons why people are leaving Laval. Number 1, the call of the wild, of nature. Laval used to be, a couple of decades back, a place where Montrealers would go to relax, to be in nature, next to the lakes, on beaches, but it has changed since with all the houses that were built, the industries that were built, the commercial buildings that were established here in Laval. It's not so much a place where Montrealers now go to be in nature. People, owners of houses that have lived in Laval for a couple of decades, when I meet them, I ask them, why do you sell your house? They give me the details. And pretty often they'll say, you know what, Gabriel? I just want to see trees, mountains, lakes. I want to, see birds and animals and just reconnect with nature. In other words, they want to have what Laval used to be 50 years ago. They sell in Laval and then they look in the Laurentians. They might move to Mirabel, Saint-Jérôme, Bellefeuille, Prévost, Saint-Sauveur, where you have a great ski mountain, L'Estérel, and if they go a little north of that, they'll go to Tremblant, which is a famous resort for ski and a bunch of activities. And some folks in Laval have family in the eastern townships on the South Shore, so they might go to Sutton, Bromont, Sherbrooke. They might also go to Lanaudière in Joliette. But the one thing that's common is that they'll go someplace where they're surrounded by nature. Number 2, less proximity with your neighbors. In Laval, the lot size used to be 600 or 700 square foot in the 60s. And as more and more construction companies started to build houses in Laval, the lot size have became really smaller and smaller. So much so that you have lot size that are really small now, 3,000, 4,000 square foot. You go for a barbecue in your backyard, you see your neighbors on each side of your backyard, you say hi to one neighbor over here, you say hi to one neighbor over here. It's nice, you know, but so my clients, in other words, they tell me it's great to talk to your neighbors, but ideally I'd like to go up north and find myself a huge piece of land, 20,000 square foot, 50,000 square foot, where you go in your backyard, the only thing you see or hear are the birds and some animals, and you see the trees, and you don't have to wave at your neighbors every single afternoon. So in other words, that's exactly why some people are selling in Laval and leaving Laval. Number 3, the desire for a newer home. Houses in Laval were built, you know, most of them were built in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. But the great majority of houses that were built in Laval, you know, roughly were built maybe 40 to 70 years ago. Which means that a lot of the owners, they tell me, Gabriel, I have a house in Duvernay, Laval. My house is a 1967. It's a bungalow with a garage. It's worth $750K, $750,000. It's a nice place. But I always thought of what's it like to live in a brand new home or a more recent one. So a lot of them, what they'll tell me, they'll say, you know what, I'd like to sell my home that's worth $750,000 or more. And I'd like to drive maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes up north and find a place that was built in the last 10 years, surrounded by trees, you know, maybe a lake, a mountain. And a lot of them will tell me that ideally, I'd like to sell at a higher price in Laval, because Laval, because of its location with Montreal, its proximity with Montreal is worth a lot of money, especially the land underneath the house is worth a lot. So they sell at $750,000 and they buy a newer home at $600,000 or $650,000 in the Laurentians. So the difference is the equity they use, and they put this amount in their investments. So by selling in Laval and moving up north, they get 2 things: equity that could be invested elsewhere and a newer home. So a lot of people leave Laval because of this specific reason, having a newer home and cashing the equity at the same time. Number 4, quality of life improvement. Living in Laval is a little bit like living in Montreal. There's traffic, there's noise. The speed of life is fast. The pace of our life is really fast. We go to work, we come back from work, we eat, we go to the gym, and then we sleep. You know, you barely have time to breathe in, breathe out. It's work, studying if you study. You come back home, if you have kids, you have your kids. So it's really fast paced, and it's really kind of a stressful life, just like you see in all the major cities in North America and the rest of the world. So a lot of my clients will tell me, you know what, Gabriel, I had a stressful life. I've worked hard, my wife has worked hard, and now we're at the stage where we want to sell our home and go someplace where we get back this peace of mind, this tranquility. We want to have this better quality of life, having time to just go for a walk and just listen to the birds and, you know, watch, just sit down and have a picnic in front of a lake. That's what we want. We want to reduce our pace, reduce our stress level, and get back this quality of life that we sort of, you know, they realize it's sort of gone since the last couple of decades. Number 5, the proximity to Montreal is becoming less and less important. You buy a house in Laval because it's really close to your work in Montreal, because your kids, they go to school in Montreal. But at a certain stage in your life, you might be just a year or two before your retirement, or you're already retired, or you're working from home now. You work 4 days a week from home and a day from a week you go to the office. If this is your case, retired, close to retirement, or working from home, having a house close to Montreal and paying that extra premium to be close to Montreal, because the closer you are to Montreal, the higher the price, is not that important to you. So a lot of my clients will tell me that they're selling because, what's the point? We could easily live 30 minutes, 60 minutes, an hour and a half away from Montreal. And even if I have to commute to work 1 day a week, 1 day every other week, well, I'll leave and I'll avoid traffic. But for the rest of the other days of the week, I'll be, spending some time in nature in the Laurentian, if you choose to go to the Laurentian, or in the Eastern Townships on the South Shore of Montreal. There's a couple of beautiful places. So in other words, there's some stages of their lives that will say, you know what, we'll do some sacrifices because we need to be close to Montreal. But when you come to that stage where you don't have to be so close to Montreal, well, a lot of them will buy in Saint-Sauveur, for instance, which is the ski city, 40 minutes away from Montreal, or they'll go to Tremblant, or they'll go to Sutton, or Bromont in the Eastern Townships. This is it, guys, for the 5 reasons why people are leaving Laval. I hope it helps you make a better decision if you're planning to buy or sell a property in Laval. This is the reason why I shot this video. And if you have a project of buying or selling a house in Laval or the surrounding areas in Montreal in a week from now, in a month from now, in a year from now, and you'd like my team and I to help you, we're there to guide you, assist you from A to Z so that your transition is as smooth as possible. So don't hesitate, just shoot us a text, a call, an email, and we'll be there to help. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next video.